predicted right here on this show, Eric Decker, a red zone force to be reckoned with. Guys, ask me who predicted it.
Who predicted it?
His wife, Jessie James Decker. She came in, hung out with me one night after she did some interviews and a quick show for our sister station. And I asked her, is he healthy and is he gonna be good? And she said yes. So that's instant karma. That's see what happens. You want to be good at your job? Send in the missus with some, make her sing a song for everybody.
She also came in when I wasn't here, so I don't know if that was planned or not.
Yeah, I totally told her not to. It's like, dude, you don't want any part of that. Trust me. It is 104.5 The Team. Levack and Gaz hanging out with you now. Of course, if you hear us, you're listening Radio Pop online. Some transmitter issues. We're getting to the bottom of it. It'll be all straightened away. It'll be good to go. Don't worry. We have actually really good engineers, so they're working on it. But if you're listening on Radio Pop and one of your friends is like, I don't know what's going on, tell them to Radio Pop at their app store, and we'll entertain them best we can as well. New York Jets lose kind of a heartbreaker. Fall to the Cincinnati Bengals 23-22. It seemed like a lot of games this weekend ended on a field goal one way or the other. It was either a missed field goal or a made field goal that made the difference in the game at the end of the game. So if you like drama, it was a fun weekend. If you're a Jets fan, you maybe didn't like this one as much, but let me give you why they should have won real quick. They had more first downs, 22-18. They dominated time possession by they were at like 35 minutes. They only had one turnover, and they made up for that. The downside is that A.J. Green went off 12 catches, 180 yards, and a touchdown on only 13 targets. So, and before we go crazy, Darrelle Revis is too old. He can't play football anymore. Let's just remember that A.J. Green is at worst, the fifth best wide receiver in football.
He's a top 5 wide receiver in his mid-20s. Darrelle Revis is 31. If Darrelle Revis is going to get smoked by someone this preseason or actual regular season, it'd be A.J. Green and a few other guys. So relax on, if you're a Jets fan ready to end Darrelle Revis' career, it's a top 5 wide receiver.
Not to mention that this is when Andy Dalton is good.
Mm-hmm.
Andy Dalton is good to start every season. I would argue that his arm isn't strong enough on really, really windy days. But even the breeze, not bad enough to take him out of his game, and he was able to make some really nice throws to A.J. Green. Revis, look, this is the third worst game he's had against a wide receiver. Any team with Darrelle Revis playing, the 3 greatest outings, Wes Welker in 2009 for 192 yards, the slot machine. Randy Moss in 2007, 183 yards. 2007, Revis was not old.
Yeah.
And then A.J. Green, 180 yards this weekend.
And just for perspective, those 2 first names, you already said it with Wes Welker.
Yeah.
Slot machine. He's not getting beat by Wes Welker one-on-one. And if he did, he screwed up a coverage, probably more than likely didn't happen.
And they just kept going.
And Randy Moss in 2007 broke the single-season touchdown receptions record.
Right.
Everyone in the league that year got beat by Randy Moss.
Yep, absolutely. So, again, all that being said, I still think Darrelle Revis would be the best safety in the game.
Don't say that to Rontez Miles. I thought we were buddies with Rontez. We don't want him to move to safety. Even his own teammate, when you and I interviewed Rontez Miles, who's a safety on the Jets, you asked him, should Revis go to safety? And you said, no.
Unless he didn't want to take his job. Look, I like Rontez a lot. I think he's a cool kid, and I think he's going to do good things. But, I look at Charles Woodson. I look at Rod Woodson. I look at some of the best corners to play in our era of football. And when they get to a certain age, I wouldn't call them old because they're still some of the best. They could be like, all right, what do you think Revis is? Still a top 10, 12, 13 corner in the league, something like that?
Sure. It's fair.
So upper half. But where would you put him at safety? He would be top 5, top 3. That's my only thing. I've been harping on this for 3 years now. So obviously, I'm not going to change my mind after he gets smoked by A.J. Green in the season opener.
Right. Hall of Fame caliber cornerbacks have made the move before. You touched on Charles Woodson, a guy who's going to be in the Hall of Fame one day. Woodson, Anedis Williams. Remember his time with the Cardinals? He was a cornerback, switched to safety. It may be with Darrelle Revis because the rules in the NFL are so different now. The focus on the passing game. That 12th or 13th best corner. The drop-off for the Jets to go out right now and find someone to be at that level, they just aren't walking around.
Right.
It may be the hardest, besides maybe quarterback, finding a cornerback who can shut down a wide receiver in a league where guys can throw it 35 to 40 times a game is so incredibly valuable. Revis at least has 2 or 3 years now in 2016, 17, and 18 because you can't find anybody else to take his spot. That's the issue.
Well, on top of that, next week, on Thursday night, against the Bills, now we don't even know if Sammy Watkins is going to play. Like, if Sammy Watkins is 100% in playing, there's a chance that you see some similar stuff happen. But with even if Sammy plays, he's got a bum foot. You got to believe Revis is going to have a far better day going up against the Bills.
Oh, yeah.
You know, there's no A.J. Green in that game. Sammy Watkins is a special kind of player. Don't get me wrong. Again, don't get me wrong. Sammy Watkins is special, but he's bum foot, you know. So this time Friday, we're sitting here going, oh, man, Revis looks so good against the Bills. You know,
yeah.
But I like it's just something that I've seen and some of my favorite players have done. So that's why I go there. But when they asked AJ Green about Revis, Green took the high road, and I like it. Quote: "That guy has nothing else to prove. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer for sure. I'm trying to get where he is." That's class right there. So I like AJ Green a lot. Revis went on to say, "It probably wasn't one of my better games." Really, I hadn't noticed. But with that being said, they still should have won that game. Nick Folk misses an extra point. It's a blocked field goal. You know what I mean? The Jets looked pretty good to me. Like as a whole, I mean, you had 7 sacks on Dalton. You had that touchdown pass we just played to Eric Decker. I don't think they look bad at all.
No, and of all the 3 New York teams that played this weekend, the worst case scenario for the Jets in losing to the Bengals is not that bad. It's actually the best case scenario of a loss of the 3 New York teams. In other words, the opponent that is the Cincinnati Bengals, let's give them credit. They've made the playoffs 5 straight seasons. They've made the AFC playoffs 6 of the last 7 seasons. They can't win when they get there, but they're a very good team. They won the AFC North last year. And the 2015 New York Jets overachieved. The fact that you lost to the Bengals by 1 point because your kicker missed an extra point, it's not extremely encouraging. Like, of course you would have loved to get that win over the Bengals because that could be a team at the end of the season you're fighting for with a wild card spot. It's not the end of the world. You had a quarterback who barely played in the offseason in your offense because he was doing his thing with his contract and fits. You had a guy in Quincy Anuba who came out of nowhere. You have a third wide receiver now who emerged and is making plays for you.
Yeah.
There's a lot of positives. Matt Forte and a new system in the running backs. Look great. There's so many positives if you're a Jets fan to take away from it. Besides Revis getting burned by a top 5 wide receiver, a lot of teams in the NFL would still love to have Darrelle Revis. Let's not all of a sudden try to throw him out of New York and say he's done. The Jets have a lot of positives to take away from week 1, even though it's a 1-point loss to the Bengals.
That's Jalen Marshall kick return for the 65 yards. Like, that's one of those ones where, like, I was at Wolves 111. I'll be there every Sunday, 1 to 3, giving away great prizes and whatever. You saw the entire place go, like while they're waiting. Who? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you could see why the Jets were very excited to find a place to put this kid on the roster, and like, his wide receiver skills are going to get better. But right now, as far as special teams go, that spark was so. I mean, like there was a handful of Jets fans at Wolves that just were pretty quiet. You know what I mean? They were just kind of, the Decker touch stuff would happen. They were like, yeah, woo, that happened. They were like going nuts, pumping their, punching their chest, and it was fun. But I look at this team too, and then one more note, just real quick, for anybody looking for a reason to be pretty excited. Muhammad Wilkerson, 7 tackles. Leonard Williams, 6 tackles. Sheldon Richardson's back this week. The Sons of Anarchy are about as good as you're going to get without snacks. So that's good. Real quick, where's your fear meter? For me, I'm putting my fear meter on this team after a loss at a very low level. Very low. My fear level is when you drop a potato chip. Oh, I dropped that. That's how I'm at drop potato chip fear level, like, for the Jets, because I think they're going to be just fine.
I'd go a step further. I'm on the drop potato chip level, and also I'll pick up the potato chip and still eat it after.
3-second rule.
Because I think it's still good. Thursday night when they take on the Bills, the Jets will be in fine shape. Of all the New York teams after week 1, even though they lost, I feel more confident in the Jets having a better season than the Giants and the Bills. I get the Giants won the game, but from everything I saw on the first Sunday, how well they played a playoff team for 5 straight seasons, that is the Bengals, I'm very confident in the Jets now.
See, my Giants fear level, I think, is even lower. Like, all right, let's put the Giants fear level I'm putting at the drop potato chip. Jets are the doorbell rings and you don't know anybody's coming over. It's like, who's that? Who's that? Is that somebody trying to sell something? It's not really bad at all, but you're just a little concerned. That's where I am. I'm a little concerned for the Jets. That's it. With the Giants, I'm just like, whatever. I think the Giants have some potential.
I'm trying to think of like a crazy comparison for my fear level now on the Giants. Like almost when you're going to fall over like a stair at your house when you're coming down, like if you have 2 levels, like, oh, I almost fell. That would really hurt if I hit the ground.
Up,
I'm okay.
You're all right.
That's how my Giants
There's snow on the
level.
ground. It's okay. All right. Or me, it's like, ding dong. Oh, man. I got to put pants on. What's going on? It's 104.5 The Team, Levac and Gaz.